What up, crafters? So hey guys, it's Amanda here again, and fortunately we are back with the good camera because my dad's back and his camera's back, so that's awesome. So hopefully this time you won't have to worry about air conditioning and fuzzy video, so that's awesome. So I was going to make this video be my very first tutorial Tuesday because right now it's Tuesday and I'm filming, but I filmed earlier and you can see that it looks like really bad because I didn't know how to change the camera settings. So yeah, I scrapped that, so now it's late at night and I'm filming. So it's going to probably be posted on Wednesday. But this was going to be the first tutorial Tuesday because I'm going to try to get on a schedule so you guys know what to expect and when my videos will be coming. So that's cool. So this is going to be tutorial Tuesday but on a Wednesday. And then going forward you can expect tutorials on Tuesdays. And there might be other tutorials throughout the week just as bonuses. But on Tuesdays you can start expecting tutorials. So today what we are going to be making is Pom Poms. I've got this orange one that I did in my earlier video that looked like terrible. So I've got this fun guy. These are great for hats. This one's in my school colors. Check it out. I've got this little bunny here. He's got a cute little fluffy tail. You can see he looks kind of sad right now because his ears are down, but now he's happy because you're here. We'll put him to the side. So to make a pom-pom, it's pretty easy. There's only a few things you need. You need a hand, and you need some yarn, and a pair of scissors. So normally when I crochet and do my crafting stuff, I use my little pair of like folding scissors, but the problem with those for doing this kind of thing is they're not super sharp, but these sewing scissors have only been used on fabrics and threads, so they cut a lot better than my little ones do. So I would recommend you use some really good sharp scissors because you're going to be doing a lot of cutting with yarn. So I'm going to use this lovely pink yarn here. Oh, that looks red on the camera. Sorry, I'm trying a different way of filming, so I keep like looking that way instead of actually at you guys. So I'm going to try to look at you guys. So what you're going to start, you're going to pull a nice long strand out. So it doesn't have to be any specific length, just nice and long. So you're going to take your fingers like this, and I feel like this is something from Star Trek, but I've never actually watched Star Trek, so I'm sorry for all the fans of Star Trek out there who I've just disappointed. So I've got it through here like this in my little Spock hand or whatever it is they do. And you're just going to leave this piece here. And then you're going to take your other end that is attached to your ball of yarn. And let's see, we'll do it like this. See, I've draped it over my fingers like that. And then the basic idea is we're going to wrap the yarn around these four fingers roughly 100 times. You don't have to be exactly 100 times, but I will kind of count it so you can get consistent pom-poms. So let me go ahead and wrap this around 100 times. 50 halfway. I just realized I stopped counting. We're going to pretend I'm at 65. Okay, so here I am. I just finished wrapping it around 100 times and I've got this nice big wad of yarn on my fingers. And you want to make sure when you wrap that these tails don't get caught in, but if they do, just pull them out. So I'm going to grab my trusty scissors here and we are going to cut this yarn right here. So remember this tail that's through your fingers? You're going to grab that and you're going to start pulling it tight. And the idea is what you're going to do is you're going to tie a knot on the front side here with these two tail pieces. So you can start tying the knot before you pull it off your fingers, or you can wait until after you've pulled it off your fingers all the way to pull it completely tight. So it might feel a little weird trying to do it with one hand, trying to make sure you guys can see this well. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off my fingers, and as I pull I'm going to kind of tighten my knot here so that way it holds better. And here's my little yarn ball, and I'm just going to pull it tight like that. So you can see it's squished in the middle and kind of rounded on the outside here. So I'm going to use my knee because I don't have a table here, and I'm going to tie a second knot just so that way this knot stays really good and tight. And there you go. I've got this lovely yarn wad with a knot in the middle. So now we're going to actually turn it into a pom-pom so we don't have this just weird looking yarn wad. So you want to keep these guys. I didn't trim it off of this one here either. But what you can use these tail ends for is when I made this hat, for example, when I applied it, I used the tail ends to tie it on the inside. So we're going to leave those be. But all the rest of these loops, we're going to take our scissors right up the inside and cut them just like that, and your yarn's going to start to stick out. So go around the outside edge and trim all the loops. Just make sure you keep these tails out of the way. So now you've got this kind of wonky looking fluff wad, and this is where the magic happens. You got to trim this guy so it doesn't stay looking like this. So trimming, you kind of just do it however you want. If you're going for a round shape, which is what I'm going for, you just kind of trim where it's too long. You can also kind of hold it by these and let it hang down, and that'll kind of help you also so your hands aren't in the way. But I'm just going to trim it and shape it. Or if you want to try a different shape, maybe you want a more oblong, like roundish or ovalish kind of pom-pom, you can trim it like that if you want. That's the nice thing about these pom-poms. There's not really a right or wrong way to do it. You notice when I was tying, or when I was wrapping it around my fingers, I lost count, and then I just kind of guesstimated. So the more times you wrap it, the thicker and fluffier of a pom-pom you'll have, and the less times you wrap it, the lighter and daintier of a pom-pom you'll have. Also, what's cool is if you want to make it smaller, only use 3 fingers or only use 2 fingers. You could probably even do a really tiny one if you only wrap it around 1 finger, or try using something like a fork where you have the little prongs, put it in between one of the prongs and then wrap it around the fork. That can make a smaller one. And if you want to make a bigger one, you can use something like a piece of cardboard, cut a slit in it, put your strand that you use to tie down the middle, wrap around the cardboard, and then pull it tight. So lots of cool ways. That's what's nice about these, making your own pom-poms, is they're super customizable. So you can see I've got this one here. I've got this trimmed up. I might trim it a little bit more later on, but you can see it's now a nice fluffy pom-pom. You also might have noticed this one. This is a cool idea. You can go ahead and do 2 colors, and if you do 2 colors because you're using 2 things of yarn, I would only wrap it like 50 times, and as I said, 100 is just a good number for this size pom-pom. But you can do more or less if you want to do different sizes and things. So wrap it like 50 times. I've also got this fun one here that I made. This one I used 2 different kinds of yarn. So it's not just 2 different colors, but you can see how the pink is a little narrower and the pink's a little more curly than the green ones even. So that's kind of cool. And for this one I kind of guesstimated how many times to wrap it. So because I was using 2 strands but the pink was narrower, I wrapped it around about 80 times. So just kind of play around and see what works. And there you go. Now you know how to make a pom-pom. You can make a whole bunch of them. You can stick them on hats. You can make fluffy little bunny tails. You can just keep them and play with them. I've seen things where you make like pom-pom rugs and stuff. All kinds of cool ideas. So even if you're not the particularly crafty type, you can definitely handle this tutorial. I believe in you. So go out there and make some pom-poms. And I will warn you, it does make kind of a mess. I'm going to have to clean this up because there's this big like cloud of fluff and just kind of falling all over and kind of landing on my face and stuff. But yeah, it's a very easy tutorial, and now you can go make your own pom-poms. Bye until next time.